الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلاقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة يتيما ذا مقربة أو مسكينا ذا متربة ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة أولئك أصحاب الميمنة والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة عليهم نار مؤصدة.
When I was 7 years old, I had the need for speed. You see, I love cars of all types. I liked big ones, I like small ones, I like red ones, I like blue ones. But the car that I loved the most was a Nissan 300 ZX. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this car was a car unlike any other. It was a two-seater heater, 300 horsepower of pure twin-turbo muscle. I'm talking four-wheel steering. I'm talking T-tops. I'm talking leather on leather. It was amazing. Now, of course, when I was 7 years old, I couldn't drive a real 300ZX, but I wanted a 300ZX Power Wheels. Now, if you don't know what a Power Wheels is, a Power Wheels is like a miniature version of a car that a kid can sit inside. It had its own keys that when you put it in and it twisted, it'd go vroom, vroom. It would have its own steering wheel and even have a gas pedal that when you pressed the pedal, the car would go forward. And when you moved the steering wheel, the car would turn. Now, I knew that I wanted one because my neighbor, Ali, had one, and he wasn't so nice about it. I remember on summer days like today when I would be sitting in my house and I'd be looking outside the window. My friend Ali would come, he'd honk the horn, he'd be like beep beep, and he'd be wearing his sunglasses and he'd be like, catch you later. Sometimes when I was outside, sitting outside my door and Ali would drive by, he'd go, beep, beep. And I'd say, hey, it's Salam's Ali. And he'd say, hey, do you want to ride? And I'd say, yeah. So I'd start running over. But while I'd be running over, he would hit the gas and he would leave. I thought to myself, that wasn't very nice at all. So I asked my mom and dad. And they said, Amin, why don't you make dua for it? They would say, Amin, you can make dua for whatever you want. Pray for it. Perhaps pray for it, and perhaps you'll get it. And so when I was 7 years old, I specifically remember in the month of Ramadan, I prayed. And I prayed, and I prayed for a Nissan 300ZX Power Wheels. But I never got it. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to tonight's khutbah as we talk about prayer. Because if you're like me, perhaps there may have been times when you had made dua, when you had prayed from the bottom of your heart for something that you really want, but you never got it. Well, today we're going to be exploring exactly why. Now, before I get into it and before I start reading from one of our stories, allow me to briefly introduce myself. My name is Amin Asr, and I am the author of Noor Kids. What is Noor Kids, you asked? Great question. Noor Kids is a series in which every month families receive a new book delivered to their home. Books like No More Mr. Badmouth and Being Big-Hearted and Muslim Mastermind and the Book of Guidance and Noor Kids Discover Patience and so many more. Alhamdulillah, Noor Kids is a akhlaq building program designed to help build character, become good human beings. And right now you can try it for just $1. Plus, when you sign up, you also get a global Muslim citizen passport. And you kind of need this if you're trying to go to Jannah. Crickets? Oh, that wasn't very funny. All right, now I'll try again next time. Now, here's the thing. I told you that today we would be talking about prayer. And we are going to be doing exactly that. And the way that we're going to be talking about it is through one of our books called The Power of Prayer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this book is one of my most favorite books. And the reason why is because a couple of years ago, my mom was very sick. And when my mom was sick, everyone said, Amin, make dua for your mom. But I used to wonder, how could I be sure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could answer my prayer? And how do these prayers even work? And so we created this book. Now, I'm going to be reading one story out of this book, a story that I don't read very often and one that you guys are going to enjoy. It's called Gone Fishing. But before we read it, allow me to introduce you to the characters in Noor Kids. Noor Kids follows a story of Amin, Shireen, Asad, and Amira. They live in a city called Maple Grove, and they go to a school called Northport Elementary. First, you see Shireen here. Shireen is a trailblazer. Lots of times, you'll see her exploring all around the world because she wants to be just like her mom, who works for National Geographic. And there is Amin. Amin is a sports star. He loves baseball and soccer and football. He's got an older brother in college named Hasib, and the one thing about Amin is sometimes he does stuff without thinking about it because that he gets into trouble. Then there's Asad. Asad is a scientist. He loves to break things apart just to figure out how to put them back together again. He's got a little baby sister named Yusra. And then there's Amira. Amira is an artist. She loves exploring all of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's beauty through art and poetry and painting. Now, these four are the Noor Kids. And I'm going to be reading one story out of this book called Gone Fishing. But before we start, I need you to say, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Did you say it? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Gone fishing. Mom, Dad, hurry up or we will be late. Please finish packing. I want to go to the lake. This is Shireen. Shireen and her family are leaving for a 3-day vacation. They plan to fish on Lake Calhoun for fun and relaxation. Sounds like fun. After the family squeezed into their van and left the city, Jafar, Shireen's brother, started to feel delighted and giddy. Oh, this is kind of fun, by the way. Our books, especially when we started, this is an older book from 2012, they used to rhyme. Fun fact, Noor Kids books don't rhyme anymore, but this one does rhyme. Inshallah, you'll enjoy it. Oh boy, I can't wait to get on the lake and start to fish. Reeling in a big blue walleye is my one and only wish. Jafar shared his excitement with Shireen, hoping that she would join in. Soon, she also began to dream about catching a fish, making her grin. Look, that's a big blue walleye. After an hour-long drive, the family finally arrived at Lake Calhoun. They made their way onto the lake and fished from their pontoon. A pontoon, it's a kind of a boat. That's a boat that they're on. Together, the family smiled, laughed, and played. They spent the entire day underneath the sun's rays. But as the day passed, Shireen felt down and dazed. Dad, the day is almost over and I did not get a bite. What is it that I'm not doing right? Shireen spent the whole day fishing, but she didn't even get a bite. There was no fish. They didn't come she wasn't able to catch anything. Dad says, Sweet pea, there's no reason to stress at all tonight. Raise your hands and give Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a call. Everything is possible through Him, no matter how big or small. Shireen listened to her dad and agreed with what he had to say. Upon reaching at the campsite, she performed wudu and began to pray. So she prays. Look at her. She's so cute in her little hijab. Oh my goodness, her cute little pink hijab. Oh my Lord, you have blessed me with so much to be thankful for. Spending an entire weekend with my family is something that I adore. I enjoy my mom and dad and Jafar so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you a bunch. But oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I still have one wish of you. Please help Jafar catch a walleye, one that is big and blue. And oh Allah, I would love to catch a fish too. Shireen finished her prayer and went to bed for the night. She slept full of hope, optimism, and delight. You guys, this is the second book that we ever wrote for Noor Kids. Oh my goodness. As I'm reading it, I'm like, memories. There's a lot that I love about this book. And then there's some things where I was like, oh, there's a lot of words on that page. All right. Just as the sun slowly dawned on the next day, Jafar and Shireen began fishing in the bay. Right after casting his reel, Jafar felt a tug on his line. He jerked his rod back without wasting any time. Can you see that they put their fish reels in and he got a bite and he jerked it back? Jafar carefully picked up the big blue fish. It was the walleye, like the one from his wish. Good work, Jafar. I knew your dream would come true last night. I asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help you. Inshallah, your turn is coming soon. Maybe you'll make a catch this afternoon. Shireen casted her reel and began to wait. But not a single fish took her bait. As each hour passed, Shireen became more upset. How come I'm not catching anything? She asked. Allahu Akbar. Oh man, have you ever had to wait for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to answer your prayer? What happened? Gosh, Shireen made a prayer and she put her fishing rod into the lake, but she hasn't caught a fish yet. Her prayer's not coming true. Has that ever happened to you? Well, that happened to me. Remember with my 300ZX, I made dua and I didn't get my 300ZX immediately. Now, what advice would you give to Shireen? Would you tell her to continue praying, or would you say, hey, you know what? It's just not working anymore? You'd tell her to continue, right? Continue praying. All right, let's see what happens next. Shireen decided that she would go home and pray. She performed wudu and thought about what to say. She said, oh my Lord, thank you for the blessings that you have showered on me. For example, boating on Lake Calhoun and spending time with my family. Also, thank you for helping Jafar catch a walleye, one that was big and blue. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I still have one wish to ask of you. I would love to catch a fish too. Shireen finished her prayer and went to bed for the night. She slept full of hope, optimism, and delight. By the way, how cute is Shireen in her pink hijab with her little ears poking out? Allahu Akbar. All right. The next morning, Shireen wasted no time getting back to the lake. She prepared her fishing rod and grabbed her finest bait. Today, I will inshallah catch a fish. I have faith that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant my wish. But the days slowly passed by and the sun began to set. Disheartened, Shireen started to feel terribly upset. Okay, dear, we have to get ready to go. Time for supper. But Mom, why hasn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answered my prayer? Oh no. Shireen prayed and prayed. She prayed for a big fish, a blue walleye, but she hasn't caught it yet. And look, the sun is beginning to set. Speaking of sun beginning to set, nope, still have 2 hours. All right. Sweet pea, God always knows best. Give it some time. Never lose faith. Things will work out just fine. Right as Shireen was about to cry, she received a jolt of hope in catching a walleye. Oh my God, I just felt a tug on my rod. Shireen hustled. She reeled in her line using all her muscle. But as Shireen spotted her catch, she again felt miserable. There was no fish in sight. Instead, there was a turtle. By the way, what a cute little turtle. Oh man, I could eat its little cheeks up. Oh Shireen, please do not be upset. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed you with a wonderful pet. You asked for a fish, but he gave you something so much better. A pet turtle can be your friend forever. Shireen agreed with her mom and quickly turned her frown into a grin. She thanked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, realizing that her success was due to him. Oh Lord, you gave me something better than I could have ever expected. Alhamdulillah, my prayer has been answered. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. This story is an incredible story because in it we learn an important lesson. You see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises. He promises in the Quran. This is not me promising. This is not your dad promising. This is not someone else promising. This is the creator of the heavens and the earth and everything in between. This is our Lord, our Rabb. Allah promises in the Quran. He says, when you call on me, I will answer you. When you call on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will answer you. Allah promises that He will answer you. But here's the thing. When you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for something, sometimes He won't give you exactly what you want. No, He will give you what is best. Like in this story, Shireen prayed for a blue walleye and she thought to herself, oh man, I want a blue walleye. But what did Allah give her? Allah gave her a turtle. Why? Because a turtle was so much better. Now, when I tell you that, I'm reminded of my daughter, Kauthar. This, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is a picture of my daughter Kauthar. And look at those chubby little cheeks. You could just eat them up like little samosas. Oh my gosh, break your fast on those cheeks. Just eat them up. Allahu Akbar. Now here's the thing. My daughter is only 2 years old too. And so, oftentimes, she will cry for something. One of the things that she loves is the knife. Because when we are in the kitchen, preparing yummy, yummy foods for iftar, cutting up carrots, cutting up cucumbers, cutting up baklava sandwiches. Baklava sandwiches, is there such a thing? No, I don't think so. But maybe we can find out anyways. When we're cutting it up, my daughter, she looks and she sees that silver little knife and she's like, and so she wants and she says, Daddy, I want it. Daddy, I want it. Daddy, I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it. Now I see this. My daughter Kauthar, she sees this. She wants it. But should I give her the knife? Of course not. Of course I shouldn't give her the knife. Why? Well, because this knife might hurt her. She's just a little baby. I don't want that to hurt. No. So instead of giving her the knife, I'll give her something better. What will I give her? Maybe I will go up and I'll get her a little, it's called a chocolate thing. It's chocolate and like an almond and it's like covered and I give it to her. It's called the chocolate thing because those chubby cheeks don't just become chubby. You got to eat a lot of chocolate to make that happen. You know what it is. No, I'm kidding. But maybe I'll give her a little chocolate treat. Or maybe I'll give her a toy. Something much better. Why? Because that knife that she is asking for could hurt her. When we call on Allah, and remember this, boys and girls, and moms and dads, sometimes we take our hands out and we call on Allah for something that we want so bad. Maybe it is, for moms and dads, maybe it is for a job. For some parents, maybe it might be for a baby and they want a child. Maybe for some parents, it is for a sickness to go away. And I want you to remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He answers. He is Al-Mujib. He is the answer of our prayers. Say it after me. Al-Mujib. One more time. Al-Mujib. One last time. Al-Mujib. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers every single one of our prayers. It is a promise from God. He says, call on me and I will answer you. But remember, just like when Kauthar asks for that knife, I can't give her the knife. I have to give her what is best. Sometimes when we call on Allah and we ask for what we want, He will give us what is best, what is better for us. And remember I told you about that 300CX? No. I never got that 300CX when I was a kid. I never got that Power Wheels. But you know what? I got something so much better. When I turned 16 years old and I got my driver's license and I went to my dad and I said, Dad, I got a driver's license. My dad said, Amin, I remember you had always made dua for a 300ZX. And guess what? I got one. Not a Power Wheels. I got one that was better. A real one. And ladies and gentlemen, that 1990 300ZX is still sitting on my driveway. So by the way, we're looking for a buyer. If anyone wants it, we will deliver it. Make your best offer. We need it to go, okay? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answered my prayer. It took a little bit of time, but He gave me something even better. So as we get ready to break our fast, and as we engage in dua with our Creator, remember your dua will be answered, and it will be answered in a way that it is even better than you can expect. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope that you enjoyed this session. Now, here's the thing. I am so we've been working on this compilation video and it is gorgeous. It is beautiful. There's so many beautiful faces and you guys are going to love it. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, inshallah, tomorrow it will be ready. So tomorrow we'll be sharing with you the compilation video of all of the submissions, or as many as we can, from the previous challenges. Inshallah, you will love it. So you do not want to miss tomorrow. Number 2, if you have any friends that you think should be watching our program, tell them. Mom and Dad, go on WhatsApp and say, hey, have you checked this out? Allow them to benefit because we're doing this for the next 20 days and we want the world to benefit. So please share this with your friends. And finally, if you are not a member of Noor Kids, don't wait. Go on noorkids.com. Join us. Allow yourself to benefit and support us so we can continue doing this work. With that, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Envision. Envision a parent's heart warm when their child comes home safe from school. Envision a glass of clean water for a little girl who used to walk miles to quench her thirst. Envision the hungry belly of an orphan now full of nourishment and hope. Envision a promising tomorrow for a woman who is providing for her family. Envision a Ramadan full of mercy, love, and joy. This Ramadan, envision a better world with Islamic Relief.